Getting a divorce and returning to work. So, do you dread the moment you walk into the office? Do you worry about whether people are judging you, they're talking about you, or whether their actions are altered because you're going through this process? It may be that you also walk in thinking that you're not as productive, you're not as focused. And I want to share with you my 4 tips to keep you in a better place during your working day. So that's one less thing that you need to worry about whilst you're going through a divorce or separation. So first up, just remember, if you can, that people invariably look at others and what they're going through the lens of their own experiences and their lens of their own fears. So maybe they were children of divorced parents, they might have friends or a family member going through a horrendous divorce and might be in the middle of the process. And when they hear somebody else getting a divorce, this is their own stuff, okay? You need to focus on you. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks, right? Because this is your experience. And I know it feels unfair with everything else you're managing at the moment, but try to come back to the fact that this is your experience and their stuff is their stuff. And that is something that you can't do anything about. So that's my first point. My next point is, at the beginning of the day, if you can, just plan to have time for yourself to eat lunch, to get outside, have some fresh air, and to take regular breaks so you can kind of rebalance yourself. And I'm going to be sharing a tip in my next tip. And to really sort of get good at planning your day so you have time out, so you can look after yourself, so you can check in with your self-care. And I want to share with you HAILT, which is HAILT. So it's based on HALT, which is hungry, ill, lonely, and tired. And when you check in with that, make sure you're eating lunch, make sure you're drinking enough water, make sure you have somebody to call during the middle of the day if you're feeling wobbly, make sure you try and get an early night's sleep, and just check in with yourself. So my third tip is to use a bathroom break as an opportunity to take 5 deep breaths. So when we breathe in through our nose, we follow the air all the way down into our belly, and we breathe into our belly, we trigger our body's natural relaxation response, yeah? So follow the breath with your mind all the way down into your belly and back out. And this kind of takes the divorce mind monkeys off their sort of travelator of thoughts, so if you're constantly dropping back into a worry about a meeting, about the children, about how you're going to cope, how work is going for you, remember you can always take yourself off this train of troubling, challenging and difficult and often painful thoughts by taking 5 deep breaths when you have a bathroom break, or you can do it at lunchtime or before you go to the office. I just want to say that if you're having a hard week, and you will have hard weeks, divorce isn't linear, it's like an up and down, it's a roller coaster of emotions and challenges. And if you are having a harder week, and it may be because your ex forgot to drop off the PE kit and the kids were upset about it, it may be that you've got extra work happening and you need somebody to pick up the kids, and maybe somebody can't pick you, haven't got childcare for it. All of these things are extra layers of stress. So just go easy on yourself. You might want to speak to an HR professional and just tell them you're going through a tough time at the moment. You may want to speak to a friend and let off some steam. You may want to just get out at lunchtime and go and get some lovely breaths of fresh air. But do remember that asking for help is not a sign of weakness.